Hi, morning, everybody. Great to be with you here on this fine Thursday morning. Jeff DeForest. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz. And Lubie, it's remarkable. It's almost as if you made a vital transformation over the last 30 seconds. Because when I signed on and I saw you going through the usual machinations that you do and the various activity that you have to go ahead and execute to get the show on the air, it looked like young Luca Panici Lubitz had finally gotten to you that you were getting no sleep. Oh, and we majored in no sleep for many, many years when we were doing the morning radio. I can't believe we used to get up at 4:30 in the morning every
Yep.
stinking day. My God. And then bark this stuff out for like 4 hours. Now it's a luxury. I mean, if you ever feel like you're under stress here, I've been getting up at 6:30 and we do this for an hour. It flies by. It's like nothing. And seems like we're barely even getting started. As we say, well, we don't even scratch the surface and we're already finished with the show, which is great. But did that happen? Was it a no sleep night for you? Because you look fine now. I mean, if you were ever going to put on a game face, you managed to do it here.
I was just trying to
If
write.
you were thrilled to be here. I mean, great stuff by
I was
you.
just trying to write the description, and I don't know, like, if I don't know what we're getting into today, to be really honest. So I was just trying to think about. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. So that was sort of. I should have put. Sorry for Ed Garcia is what I should have wrote in there.
Oh, wow.
But
Another
it's sitting
stunner,
there
another
right
stunner
now.
out of the sporting world. I mean, people are just in shock every day now. It's almost like watching CNN and seeing what the latest atrocities are. But what did we take over a ship yesterday? That was great.
Yes.
Uh,
An oil tanker
Pirating oil vessels.
for no reason. We're just taking things now, like
You
we're
know what?
literally
We think that stuff was headed for Iran. Okay, great.
Somalian pirates.
He was just down on the Somalians. Couldn't have had any more disparaging things to say, and then he goes ahead and
He's found
acts
their
like a
lead.
Somali pirate. Very nice. Confusion, my friend. But shocking. Oh, always something shocking. And that's what seems to be happening in the sporting world. We'll get to that. Sharon Moore, and we spoke yesterday. Everybody was giddy about, Ed Garcia, our big Michigan fan. Of course, proprietor of 14, I believe, different Texas Roadhouse restaurants. And the guy does a great job.
Yes.
Really a fantastic guy. And a diehard fan. I like that when you have allegiance to a team. It's not like he ignores all of the other stuff. I don't know when he has time to follow the rest of what's going on in sports. But certainly there was no indication. What indication was there? That nobody sniffed this out. There was this probe going on supposedly internally at the University of Michigan into Sharon Moore's activities, supposedly some kind of affair that he was having with one of the staff members, which was strictly written into his contract that this is off limits. Now, it's not a good image because the guy is married, has 3 kids, and
Oh, he is me. Okay, that's what I kept. Because Ken was like, "It's bad no matter what." I'm like, I get that, but I'm like, is he married or is he not? Because to me, I feel like in the public eye, that makes it worse. So married with 3 kids. Oh God.
kind of like the mystery there with the Ime Udoka when he got
Yes.
canned for having an
Yep.
affair with one of the people in the
Employees. Yep.
front office with the Boston Celtics. Now, he was able to bounce back and is doing a nice job coaching the Houston Rockets. Managed to land on his feet. I don't know about Sharon Moore. I don't know that he has enough of a legacy as a head coach. Now, we had a decent year this year, 9-3. Bryce Underwood was nothing sensational, so it wasn't like he was some quarterback whisperer. I think expectation to productivity, you would probably say at best a wash with Bryce Underwood.
Oh yeah.
He had some typical freshman failings, and normally you would say, okay, yeah, the guy's a freshman, he's going to make mistakes. But when you're getting paid $11 million as a college quarterback for one season, the expectation, the anticipation that you're going to be great naturally is ratcheted up exponentially. Don't know all of the details there. I don't think they've been released. Supposedly, some staff member, unidentified, having an affair, and then oddly, and maybe out of frustration, whatever, to what transpired earlier in the day, he gets arrested on some kind of assault charge. So, not a great day for Sharon Moore and for the Michigan football program, which always seems to be. How come Ohio State is never investigated for anything? Nothing ever happens there, huh? Everything's above board there. I mean, they got these guys. They suspended 2 different coaches for sign stealing. They banned Harbaugh for 10 years. He can't come back to the college level, and I would imagine he has no
He's
desire
fine
to,
now. Yeah.
since Michigan would have been his dream job, and it would be hard to take another job. Although It's interesting too. I mean, the speculation immediately. Marcus Freeman is now the Bill Cowher of head coaches, where
Yes.
his name is mentioned and Gruden mentioned in association with any job opening, no matter how unlikely it is that he's going to take it. Now, well, we don't know. People have left Notre Dame. Brian Kelly did, left Notre Dame for LSU. Notre Dame, you would think, would be a pinnacle job on the college level
Mhm.
for any aspiring coach, that they would want their next move maybe to be in the pros. Could you see Marcus Freeman leaving Notre Dame after the success he had this year and the 10 straight wins? Was in the finals last year in the college football playoffs and had a chance to actually win the championship. Would he leave for Michigan? And then Kalen DeBoer is the other name that was floated around.
Yes.
That
They're
would
going.
seem odd, also, wouldn't it? Kalen DeBoer leaving Alabama. I mean, Alabama's a
Oh
tough
yeah.
place. We know that. 9-3, not exactly satisfactory for those hillbillies there with the shotguns on the back of their trucks that are killing and eating beaver for breakfast. I shouldn't have said that way, right? You can't even say that anymore, right? That's how sensitive people are. This political correctness in terms of things that you say. So yeah, well, amend that from eating beaver in the morning. It's so ridiculous, Libby. I did want to say this before we got started. Pete Alonso ends up signing, leaving the Mets. The Met fans are just shredded right now. They literally have like an obituary on the front page of the New York Post for the New York Mets. I don't know. They're going to be. Are they going to be okay? You got to breathe or bereave, not you got to bereave,
Wait,
not
is
take off.
Alonso
Don't touch
still?
your
I thought
broadband.
Alonso had fallen off a little bit. Am I wrong? Like I
He,
saw that
he wasn't
yesterday.
great this past year.
I was like, okay. Like I thought Alonso's not like nearly any what he once was.
Well,
But
you
that
do
was
have three guys that left that were very popular with the fans. Alonso was a Met, and you would like to see, if you were a Met fan, a guy remain a Met throughout his career. He started there. He was out of the University of Florida. I didn't realize that. Did you know Pete Alonso was a guider?
yes, that's a big reason. One of the big reasons why Ken hones in on him. Yes, what he does in home run derbies is a little non-conventional and breaks the rules massively, but and he gets away with it. That's also in line with being a Gator. Yes, it's well known he's a Gator.
Guiders.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you despise Gator baseball? Gator baseball was pretty good, as I recall. It wasn't quite as good as Miami and FSU, but it was right up there. And it may have exceeded. I don't know. Is FSU still good at baseball, Louis?
Yes, they've come back around.
Okay.
The guy they took Notre Dame's coach. He was an FSU alum, played under Mike Martin.
Miami baseball has not been at the same level the last.
I mean, it's not the same level, but FSU's come back into relevancy. I don't know about Miami.
Gator baseball is always good, man. They have a nice
Yes,
little
Gator
stadium.
baseball's always consistently been good. Yes.
Called a bunch of games there, and unfortunately, there was no bagel shop with Jason Cole, or at least from a culinary standpoint, it might have been more favorable to be in Gainesville. I don't even remember where we used to eat when we were there. Sonny Hirsch knew every restaurant in every city. Didn't matter how rinky-dink the college was; he knew where to go to eat. Right? You could be playing, versus Middle Tennessee State, and Sonny. Okay, we got to go to Jose's. You know Jose, right? Not too many Mexican restaurants, I don't think. All right, so that was also big news, and they're crushed in New York. They lost Nimmo, who was very popular, 10-year Met. Edwin Diaz was with the Mets for 7 years. He was one of these guys that came into blaring trumpets, and everybody knew that he was, in all likelihood, about to come in and strike out the sides. And Pete Alonso was a guy that hit some classic and memorable home runs. All-time leader, in spite of the fact that Darryl Strawberry played there for many years, and they also had other home run hitters on their roster during the course of their history.
That's was there a while.
He was the all-time home run leader for the New York Mets. Had more home runs than any other Met. They are absolutely, they really are. It's a bereavement what's happening there, and the target is David Stearns, the GM, and the headlines are along the lines of Stearns better get this right.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, you lost some pretty potent components of your team. Between Alonso and Diaz, I don't know that Nimmo is such a disaster. He was a good player. He played a lot of games. He was pretty steady. A guy that people appreciated because he looked like he had a little bit of that Charlie hustle in him. He ran to first base after walking and seemed like a guy that had his head into the game. But the trade at the time it was made was deemed to be fairly even. So we'll see what happens. They got a veteran guy there, some schmank, who seemed to be of equivalent value. So yeah, they're screaming in New York. We had a couple of NBA Cup games last night. The Cats won their third in a row. That was great.
That's nice.
Carter Verhaeghe is heating up. He's got a great
Nice.
streak going. 6 goals and 5 assists the last 6 games. Scored a goal in 4 straight games. And yet, I was reading a handicapping column today that recommends that you take plus 125, Lubie, plus 125,
Okay.
getting a little bit of a price, that the
Okay.
Panthers will miss the playoffs this year.
Oh, no,
Miss
that's
the playoffs entirely.
That's someone who is a New Yorker or a Boston fan and is very bitter.
Interesting that you would point that out because he also recommended that you bet the Bruins to make the playoffs at plus 270. Even though it appears that they're
He's trying to do like a horse racing kind of a bet where he's looking for like a long shot. The Panthers, I don't know what happened to them. The fact that they're missing 2 of the top 10 or so players in all of the game has affected them. They were in the middle of the pack. Now they're near the bottom of the pack. But as our friend Brian pointed out the other day, they're still within striking distance of first place in their division. So they're not, like you talked about the other day, they're not alone. It works out in their favor. A lot of teams are struggling. And the difference is even without those 2 guys, still have Marchand and you just said Verhaeghe and Bennett. Like they're loaded.
Not very much from Marchand lately. Is he still on fire? He was tearing it up.
He's been consistent. I mean, I'm sure he's tailed off. He's an older dude, but he's been consistent. Like there's enough talent there. I find hard to believe they're not going to playoffs. What are they going to do? I don't know. Like that comes down to, does Tkachuk come? He's supposed to come back in December. We're in December. I haven't heard anything about Tkachuk. And what happens with Sasha, like Barkov? Like that's, if he can come back.
Sounds like he's Kaputski for the year. No?
If he doesn't play at all this year, and Tkachuk does what he's done in other years, where it's supposed to be December, but it's really February. Yes, I can see them struggling in the playoffs. I find it hard to believe they've hung around right in the thick of the playoff race, and they're a team that's been to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, so they're probably not going full bore. Even if they were healthy, they probably would sort of mess around a little bit anyways. I think that's wishful thinking. Like this team's and it's hockey where everyone makes the playoffs. So like to say they're not going to be one of 16 teams, I find that really hard to believe.
You know how when you see Bryce Young quarterbacking the Carolina Panthers, and you're thinking, is that like the coach's son out there or something? He's getting a couple of snaps. I mean, this just doesn't look to be physically large enough, imposing enough to play that position in the National Football League and last very long. 2 is sort of in the same boat in terms of size.
Yes.
This Connor Bedard, the guy that was like the number 1 overall pick a couple of years ago for the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah. First of all, he looks like he's 9 years old.
Yes.
I mean, if you thought just saying there with Ohio State looked like a kid, this guy really looks like a kid. And he's in a man's league. I mean, you may as well – you're 1 step away from being in the UFC when you're playing in the NHL in terms of the amount of physical punishment that you're destined to take. But he's having a great season, this guy, Connor Bedard. He had a goal last night. He's got 19 on the season, 42
so he's good. I was about to say, I'm like, is he struggling? Because I know that they were talking about him like he was the next Sid the Kid.
Supposed to be brilliant, right? They put him right out there on the ice. I mean, he came out of, I think he came out of junior high, and he was all of a sudden, not even junior hockey, junior high school.
Yeah.
Playing for the Blackhawks, who had been struggling, staggering around for a long time, ever since, Dale Talon left.
Yes.
Of course, Joel Quenneville, who you saw surface with the Florida Panthers and then disappear. And what, is he back in a league somewhere, Joel Quenneville?
Someone was trying to hire him. I don't know if they did hire him.
I don't think so.
No.
I want to say no. Seemed like a decent guy, man. But, wow, when you're involved in a cover-up, how come nothing happened to Urban Meyer on that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That was some ugliness. That was Sandusky type of stuff that was going on there. And the NHL is, I mean, for as much of a cult sort of sport as it is in terms of the fans that really dig what's going on out there, and it's expanded the interest in the game as it's become more relatable on TV, I guess. They've got better contracts, more exposure. Still, there's like a seedy underside to the NHL that nobody likes to talk about. And that was exposed, and it was pretty ugly. That all being said, and we're going to get into the trivia challenge here in just a minute here with Dave Gyrggles Gergely. I'll get into this other stuff later because I watched that thing. I don't know if you caught it last night, the 30 for 30 tribute there, sort of documentary on Stuart Scott last night.
Okay, so I was wondering where all the Stuart Scott stuff was coming up. I was like, is it an anniversary of his passing? I realized there was a 30 for 30 on him.
Yeah, it was really well done, and it was it was kind of enlightening. If you're in the business, you could relate to a lot of the things that happened with this guy. I was never a huge Stuart Scott fan. I'm. It's kind of weird for me, to say that. Yeah, you like a little bit of substance with your shtick, and if it's all shtick, it doesn't seem to carry as well. At least it didn't for me.
No, it's funny you say that because when he first came out, I was young and he would use like more hip, like
Yes, that was his
modern
thing.
phrases. So I liked him when he first came on. Like I thought he, booyah and all that stuff. Like I thought he was classic, but it never grew. Like he just kept using the same phrases over and over again, and he never really got into anything. Like
No.
so, it got old. I remember after a year or so of it being like, okay.
I mean, it was fine. You know what the guy's doing, and he's doing what the network was very in favor of when he was on ESPN2. But it won me over. I mean, as compelling as the Jim Valvano speech was, which I could watch a zillion times, and even though you can mouth the words to it, it's still great and very inspiring. Stuart Scott, when he gave the speech, as he received the Courage Award, what was that, the Arthur Ashe thing they give out?
He was set to die. I mean, he was
very, very compelling. And then when you saw what he was doing and what he was going through, nothing but massive respect for this guy. Very much like Ernie Johnson, if you weren't an Ernie Johnson fan, and you saw what he was doing for this young man that he adopted, who had nothing but, I mean, just serious medical trauma. The English patient was in better shape than this kid, and the dedication and doing this while he was going through his own cancer treatments. I mean, some people, when you're fetching and whining about your own life, Lubie, or your current situation, and you see what some people do and how they handle things, you really have to look in the mirror and just say, "Hey, wait a minute, man. I gotta just take a little more of that attitude and a little less about just whining and bitching all the time." All right, we're not going to do any whining and bitching. We're going to get right into the trivia challenge here. Let's bring on Gyrggles. Dave Gyrggles, Gergely, ladies and gentlemen, who is going to conduct the trivia challenge. There he is, looking great. Gyrggles, looking better every day, man. How you feeling?
brand new outerwear here at Miami Lakes, and it's perfect because it's a little cool this morning.
And the hat, is that a new entry?
Miami Lakes hat too, as well. Yeah, I've already made the rounds. Make sure all the divot buckets are filled on the par threes, filled in a couple divots before coming back on with you guys. And some of the Mets fans I've heard are still upset because they traded Jim Fregosi for Nolan Ryan. So
yeah,
I mean,
that
can't
was
praise those guys.
At the time, it made a little bit of sense. Can you imagine? You were getting this veteran guy that you needed to help anchor your infield, and Ryan was a little bit wild, very inconsistent as a New York Met. Of course, he went on to win like 500 games and strike out 8,000 guys. But and Fregosi, I think, hit 264 and then retired. That was about it.
So if I'm correct, this is 2 weeks prior to Christmas, right?
Yes. Yes.
You know where I will be in Christmas?
Mahoning Valley Racetrack.
No, I will be at Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Oh, nice. How'd you pull that off?
A young lady from the past out in Palm Springs, California, gave me a call and said, "What are you doing for Christmas?" I said, racetrack's closed. I'm not sure. She goes, "Well, if you can get the airfare, I've already got an all-inclusive package to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico." Next day, I'm on the phone booking the airfare. I'm gone.
Nice.
Skipper of previous fame, is it?
No. This is a different one.
Just the shipper OOP. Is she out of the picture?
No. This is just a friend from the past. I don't. If there's double beds, it's fine with me. I'm just looking forward to the resort.
All right, very good. This isn't one of those deals where you got the blind date in Vegas and you have the heart-shaped tub in the room.
No, not that one.
Okay.
No, that was a good one, though.
I like that. Yeah, that was excellent. All right, so we're going to get into the trivia challenge here. You can dial us up if you want to play, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070.
By the way, Mr. Bernetti sends his best to you.
Oh, yeah?
I did the Larry Little celebrity thing, and I mentioned you, and I said, Jeff talks about you all the time. He goes, "Oh, please tell him I said hello. We
John
miss
Jr.,
you guys. Here's a check for $2,000. No, he didn't say that.
Exactly.
They dropped their simulcasting there at Hialeah. I know we mentioned it in the
did?
we've been running. Yeah, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
They don't even have simulcasting.
no.
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah, they dropped it. Can you believe that?
Oh,
they had made a pretty good thing there with the simulcast.
Yeah.
You loved it. I know. You
Yeah,
liked it.
Yeah, of course. Like when Pegasus comes, I would go there. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
at
They had a
Fish
nice-
Captain Tournament there a couple of years in a row.
Yeah,
Frank
we did.
Starr
Leslie Visser was there. Yeah.
That was great. But yeah, apparently no mas, no more simulcasting there. I don't
Good
know
to
what they
know.
did with the room, but yeah, if you're venturing down there trying to make a bet on a horse, your best bet is to turn around.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
I
which
wish
is
I'd have done that about 500 times.
I wish I'd done it the first time. Would have been far better off. Why did I end up in the parking lot there for Fortunos and walking my way into Roosevelt Raceway? All right, let's get it going here. 954-417-0070. If you'd like to play the game, we have prizes to give away. We're not sure exactly what, so we won't specify anything. Hopefully, we'll send you something. And the way it works, obviously, Gergs is going to fire off these questions, and you dial us up, and we'll take the high point totals and square them off, much like in the NBA Cup. We'll have the two high point totals going into finals here. There is no trip to Las Vegas. So we'll get it started in the somewhat traditional fashion, as it's been the last few years without the Polyman on the show. But he's always in the spirit of the program here as the co-creator of the program and the guy that really kind of invented the game. So in honor of the Polyman, we have Dave Gyrggles, Gergely, and some
Easy baseball. This female comedian on Baseball Actions and Reactions said, I don't know. When I watch baseball, every time a baseball player grabs his crotch, it makes him spit. Marsha Warfield, Paula Tucker, or Sophie Tucker?
All right, Roland, are you going to have Luca work the remote button there? Very good. I know he loves the random phone scrambler. Babies love that, the random phone scrambler.
True.
All right, lands on Ron. Ron, you're on the Trivia Challenge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go with A.
He's
Good morning,
correct.
Ron.
Very
All
nice.
right. Was he there last night?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Or he was.
I-
Uh,
I was not
Right.
there last night.
Baseball, true or false? In the news, you mentioned this morning, Pete Alonso got his nickname, the Polar Bear, while playing in Port St. Lucie with the Mets Farm Club. And believe it or not, who gave it to him was Tim Tebow. True or false?
Boy. False.
False.
No, that's true.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, they were teammates at Port St. Lucie, both Gators, obviously. Yep.
The Polar Bear from Tim Tebow. That's
Yeah.
the first funny thing Tim Tebow's ever said, I think.
I think he offered to circumcise it too, but that didn't work out.
Most remarkable thing in all of sports history is that Tim Tebow remained a virgin while he was at the University of Florida. Almost impossible.
Well, who was the other guy? AC Green, right? With the Lakers.
Like
Steve Green had taken this vow of celibacy, the guy. But,
in LA.
Yeah, in L.A. Imagine a Laker. All the other guys are in some hotel room having orgies while they're playing the Rockets on the road. All right, 2 for 2 and going for 5.
No, he missed that one.
Oh, you missed it.
Yeah, he did.
He got one. He's 1 for 2.
Like I said, you're 1 for 2, Ron.
All right, a guest on our show in one of the greatest segments we ever did. After Bruce Jenner won the men's decathlon in 1976 Olympics, believe it or not, he was drafted number 139 overall by this NBA team.
Wow.
Was it the Lakers, the Knicks, the Warriors, or the Kings?
Oh, boy. Let's go Kings.
Well
Kings.
done. That's
Nice job.
probably the only team he could have improved.
Looked like a hell of an athlete. Everybody wanted to be Bruce Jenner at that time. I'm not sure that that's necessarily the case now, and that's no denigration to people that have become transgender of any type.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking living with those 4 broads probably would have made me want to change, but I don't know to another woman or what, or maybe just like the clothes they had.
You would have never wanted to be a woman after living.
No.
5 of them. It was 5 of them.
Imagine
And they're all a lot.
they all seem to care so much about him. They've never paid any attention to themselves. All right, you have 4. So far, we've been talking about eating beaver in the morning and transgender people. So we're determined to just have nofilter.net as our permanent home.
Exactly.
All right, going for 9 points.
Well, let's give you a little college hoops now that it's in season. In 1993, this Pac-10 team ended Duke's streak of 5 straight Final Four appearances by upsetting them. That team was Oregon, Oregon State, Washington State, or Cal?
Let's go Oregon State.
Oregon
Nope.
State.
It was California beat them.
I'm gonna say that.
Tough-
That was my
We're
guess.
tough draw, Ron.
Ron.
All right, not bad. 4 starts us out. Mile total, but could be worthy of being in the finals. You can jump on board if you want to play. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. Quenville is the Ducks, Anaheim Ducks coach.
It said at the beginning of earlier this year they hired him. I remember someone flirting with hiring him, so I guess maybe that's what it was. The
That's
Ducks
what I
did
remember.
hire him.
It was like a
I guess everything went away magically. I don't know because we really kept him here. He was great here.
Seemed like a decent guy. It's rather unfortunate what happened there with the Blackhawks. You could say not even somewhat inexcusable, but just highly inexcusable.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Steve
can't.
Dusky, what are you doing in there in the shower? I mean, come on. Let's. You're the head coach. You're responsible for some of this stuff. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. Any big hits at the track, Gyrggles? I always see you
No. I
very
luckily,
studiously going about your business.
last Friday we had a tournament here for the Charlie DeLuca Foundation.
Yeah.
So 9 o'clock, I'm schlepping the bags. 12 noon, I'm doing Beat the Broadcaster at $20 a pop, and I didn't get a nickel of this. I raised $2,400,
Get out of here.
and I hit the green 2 times. Then I rushed to Hialeah and had to announce all the athletes off camera for the dinner. Then I had to go to Miami Springs and raise money doing Beat the Broadcaster for Larry Little. I had a 140-yard hole uphill. By the end of the day, I was hitting driver. I was so beat up. But the good news is it put me on the couch for Indiana and Ohio State and watched Georgia, Alabama. So, no, I may take a little ride Friday out there. Maybe I'll see you after your lunch deal. Who knows?
Okay, that sounds good. All right, let's get into our next set of questions. Here's Dave Gergely, the busy Dave Gyrggles.
Kind of a sports combo question, or as Paul used to say, flashback. This Washington State hoops coach on his life as a high school athlete in Pennsylvania recalled, I went to Catholic school in Philadelphia. We had just one coach for football and basketball. He took us all out and had us run through a forest. The ones who ran into the trees went on to the football team. George Raveling, George Washington, Kermit Washington, or welcome back Cotters Washington.
All right, here we go. Random phone scrambler. Always heartening to hear from this gentleman because it means that he's in good shape. Andy, you're on a trivia challenge. Good morning, Andy.
But I'll go with A, and then welcome back, Cotters. Washington was boom, Washington.
Right, he was.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been the true or false question, but you blew it, so I'll give you a different one.
All right, you're in the game, Andy.
All right, NFL football, Andy. It's been more than 20 years ago, maybe even longer, that ESPN showed simulated NFL Super Bowl games with teams from different years and different decades. Believe it or not, they showed one game in which our late great friend, the Mad Dog, Jim Mandich, played for the Dolphins and played against himself on the Steelers. True or false?
True.
Yeah. Remember that one?
Yeah, true.
That was great.
Very good. Yeah. That's an interesting development, sure.
How do you play
There's
yourself?
Sandwich. Oh, and it could have been like that play we saw with Jalen Hurts where he throws a pick and then fumbles the ball.
Yeah. Wow.
Those are your Philadelphia Eagles there, Rick Gyrggles.
Boy, they're stinking up the bed. I'll tell you that.
Defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, they are the defending champions.
2 for 2, going for 5, Andy.
All right, NBA. In the decade of the 1980s, this coach was the only one to be the head coach and winning coach in 3 NBA All-Star games. Was that K.C. Jones, Pat Riley, Chuck Daly, or Billy Cunningham?
Chuck Daly.
Chuck Daly.
It was
Incorrect.
the Kangaroo Kid, Billy Cunningham, 80, 81, and 83.
Very
Okay.
nice. 2 going for 7, Andy. This will put you in the lead.
All right, let's go back to baseball. Who was the first player of the following to hit a grand slam in his first major league at bat?
All right.
Tony Perez, Bobby Bonds, Harmon Killebrew, or Jerry Grote?
So is the killer.
No.
Harmon Killebrew.
The logo. Nope. It was Bobby Bonds did it in 1968.
Wow.
Hang around, maybe in the finals.
Gary
you know.
Brody hit a grand slam in his first major league.
No, I didn't say that.
No,
But no,
okay.
Bobby Bonds did.
You just threw
I
this
just
guy.
put him in as one of the choices.
Very nice. All right, 2 points, Andy. You never know. It could be good enough to get you there. We'll find out in just a minute. As you can dial us up if you want to play at 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. Lubie, it'd be interesting to see how long it takes you to teach young Luca to answer the phone and place the people on hold. That would be pretty wild, wouldn't it? He just doesn't have to multitask anymore because he's got an assistant. A young assistant there.
As long as his godfather's not Josh, who whispers the answers in our ear while he's answering.
Oh, remember that Josh Friedman? Yeah. No, he would say him on the air.
Yeah,
it's me.
He would say on air, really, Frito?
I remember we had a cute blonde that worked there too, and she wore a T-shirt all the time. We tried to get some spots off with magic rust stain remover. Wow.
What was the pesticide Paulie was endorsing? The mosquito.
Mr. or something.
Yeah.
Mr. Mosquito.
Yeah. I think he got 500 for the year though, instead of the month. Poor guy.
You could just give me the nickel up front.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. We have Ron with 4 points. He's in the lead, so easily overcome this particular total here. Very low. The over-under total for all players today, I think, was somewhere around 13 and a hook. So but we're nowhere close to that. We need somebody to score a perfect score for the over players to cash. 954-417-0070. If you'd like to join us here on the program. Gyrggles, tell us a little bit about Perdomo Cigars here.
Yeah, you betcha. Of course, we sell them right here in the pro shop. We got the Churchill and the Robusto of the 10th anniversary, and I was smoking a nice one on the 7th tee here, and then I took one down at Miami Springs, and who wanted to bum one from me but a guy named Darryl Fullington. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, won in the 87 Ks. Played with
you know what he was famous for?
No.
On the Flutie pass play to Gerard Phelan, who did he sail the ball over?
No kidding.
Darryl Fullington.
Wow.
The defensive back that probably should have made a play on that ball.
Well, I gave him a cigar anyway. But you don't have to come here. You can come to the golf course. It's in great shape right now, and the greens are rolling great. Or you can go to 5150 Northwest 167th Street and go see Nick Jr. Nick the Third is around now, too. 5150 Northwest 167th Street, 305-627-6700. They're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'll find out their holiday hours this week. I'm guessing they'll be open Christmas Eve and closed, of course, Christmas Day. But you want a great cigar, they're perfect. And I would say put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars when UM covers that 3.5 versus Texas A&M.
Did they win the game, Gyrggles? What do you think?
Yeah. If it's 3.5, they can win.
3.5. Yeah, point spread wise, I'm thinking they're probably as much in there with a shot to win as they are to cover the spread.
3.5 money line would be what, maybe 7-5? I don't know.
Money line, 3.5 points.
You won't get 2-1.
Plus 135, maybe 140.
That's almost 7-5.
Yeah, okay. Very good making the equation from sports betting odds to odds that you would be represent. I mean, and we can calculate racetrack odds.
Yeah, degenerate stuff, no doubt about it.
All right, we're going to, due to time constraints, we're going to go right to the finals here. We're going to
beautiful.
The golf course. We have Ron versus Andy, our two players today, and Gyrggles is going to fire off the question. Call out your name if you want to answer right away. Nobody answers right away. We'll offer multiple choice. First person to call out his name gets first chance. We go back and forth till we have a winner for the championship of this week's edition of the Trivia Challenge. Here is the great Dave Gyrggles Gergely.
All right, this is a speed one, guys, so be ready on the buzzer. College football. When the Miami Hurricanes won their first national championship in 1983, it came even though they were trounced in the season opener 28-3 by whom?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Anybody?
Ron.
Yes, gotcha, Ron, gotcha.
And he was asleep.
That would be the Florida Gators.
No, that's wrong.
It's wrong?
So what year is
What?
this?
Wasn't it FSU?
No, it was a Gator.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a misprint on my
And then they won
thing
like the
there.
next
Yeah.
11 games, murdering everybody, and then like won
Just
the
wanted
title.
to throw Ron off his game a little bit.
Yeah, no, the world is aware of this.
Ron, you're
Ron's a
lucky. I was
Gator.
thinking for my
Ron-
friend's teeth. I was thinking for my friend's teeth. Yeah, my friend.
Ron's a Gator. Ron.
Congratulations, Ron. You get that gift certificate to nowhere, and it's worth nothing.
A nondescript gift certificate,
Thanks, Ron. I appreciate
generic gift certificate will be given away.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right?
Generic
not-
bread. I know that place.
Yeah, you can go there anytime, and you don't even have to identify yourself. They don't take
Gentlemen.
credit cards or cash.
You're the
All
man.
right, very good. Dave Gyrggles,
See
ladies.
you next week, sir.
Yep.
Looking like he could play 18 today, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's good.
He's got that look. He's trimmed down a little bit. Always good. This is one of those cases where a negative was turned into a positive, huh?
I guess, yeah.
He needs like a hip replacement. I got a guy that I see on the Walk of Life every day. He's had 4 hip replacements.
Really?
And he's moving like a winner. Yeah, back in the day, knee replacements, hip replacements were not
last so long.
a sure thing as they are now. They were far more difficult. Well, I mean, think about this. Remember, this is when these incentive, I don't know, there'd be like anti-incentives, restrictive clauses were put into contracts for major league athletes or pro athletes. It was when I believe the first time I ever heard this mentioned was when Jim Lonborg, then a star pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, was injured in a skiing accident. And I believe he tore his ACL, and that was like, you were finished at that point, Libby.
Yes.
It
80s,
was over.
90s.
Now you have guys coming back from all kinds of crazy stuff and doing it rather quickly. So it's changed a lot. The hip replacement and knee replacement definitely has made tremendous advances. Not that and unfortunately, I haven't had to get either of those. So it's great. All right, coming back with more in a moment. We'll have much to talk about here on the show. Shocking developments all across the world of sports. Mike Lubie, Lubitz, Jeff DeForest. Back in a moment. Now that.
The time.
It's 8:39.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs unmatched. Steaks hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Recently realized it's not just hurricanes.
Joe Bees. The bees collect the pollen, bring it to Joe, he packages it, and he gets it to you. It's simple, 100% natural, and it's good for you.
There's only one place to get Joe Bees, and that's from me. Joe B.
If you want to look and feel good, call 877-300-5632.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on The Defo Show.
All right, welcome back to the show. Good to have you guys with us. Thanks to Dave Gergely for conducting a brilliant edition of the Trivia Challenge. Great stuff there. All right, no excitement, Lubie. NBA Cup action last night. Oklahoma City certainly writing an interesting story. 49-point victory, the largest margin of victory by any team this year in the NBA. And they already have, how many is it? They already have 5 30-point plus victories on the season.
Jesus.
They're 24-1. That is the best 25-game start since the only time it happened before was with the 2015-16 Golden State Warriors.
Jesus.
Was it that long ago that Golden State? What
Yes.
was its prime run?
Right
there?
after the big three.
My
Like the Heat
God.
went from the Heat right into the Warriors, and they hung around for a few years. Then they
That's
came
really
back.
10 years ago, Lubie.
Yes.
Doesn't that
It's
seem
crazy.
impossible? Because people still think that they're the same Warriors. Everybody, always pays an overdue amount of attention, and maybe rightfully so because of the presence of Steph Curry. But that means that Steph Curry's been at this level for 10 ensuing years. Is he tailing off a little bit this year? I haven't seen that much Steph Curry.
I think he's just not playing as much. I think he's missing a lot of time.
Okay.
Again, he's in his late 30s and he's not built like LeBron. And he doesn't play a physical brand of basketball. That's why he's been able to get away with playing at this high level for this long, but eventually your body does break down in some ways. Like he's in his, I think it's like 37, 38.
You keep wondering how many times LeBron's going to be able to peel himself off the mat. He got knocked down pretty hard last night, actually tripped up by Stefan Castle, incidental, accidental, unintentional. But nonetheless, he hits the ground hard around midcourt. LeBron James looks like he was going to stay down for a while. Gets up, dusts himself off, goes to the free throw line. Lakers got punished there without Wembanyama in the lineup. That was one that threw the bettors out of whack a little bit because the speculation was that he was going to play. The Lakers, I think, went off as 5.5-point favorites in that game. And they ended up getting crushed at home by the San Antonio Spurs, who – see, now, of all the teams, how many teams have we seen that were involved in the so-called process, Lubie?
Oh, good. I mean, the Sixers are the ones that it was attached
Sixers
to.
are always pointed to because that term was associated with them, right? And then what? We've had so many teams in the process.
Kings, the Wizards have been bad.
Wizards are horrendous.
The Suns were bad for a long time with the not this lunatic, but the cheap
Charlotte. Is always kind of torn.
Hornets, Bobcats have been bad for years upon years upon years. New Orleans, even though they actually hit the lottery, literally, it still backfired because Zion has never become what he was supposed to become. They are always bad. New Orleans is always bad. I would say the Magic, but they look promising at this point. Last year, they
were lingering for a long time.
Finally turned a corner after like years and years and years of being really bad.
It happens a lot.
Yes, in the NBA, there's a lot of teams that hover around like that, and it'll happen for a long time. Like,
what is it? And when they get there, can they stay there? I guess that's always the other question.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at the 76ers, you would think that they would have achieved more the way Maxey, who I believe I pointed out to you very early on, Lubie, and said, this kid's going to be something. And the guy turned out to be great.
Yeah, he's legit. Now he's like really good.
You could see he was there. But Embiid's inconsistency in terms of being physically available seems to have compromised Philadelphia's chances of really excelling. I tell you, the surprise team is the Boston Celtics, are they not? The Celtics, without Jason Tatum, still giving a very good account of themselves. Pretty impressive. But nobody, Lubie. I mean, how much do we even know a lot about the Oklahoma City Thunder, even though they won the championship last year? Still took them 7 games to do it. They were challenged by the Indiana Pacers in the final round. Pacers playing without Halliburton after he went down with the Achilles injury. And 24-1. That's beyond comprehension. Everybody seems to think they're going to break the record, which was what would they have to do? Go 72-10? No, they'd have to do even better than that. 73-9 they would have to achieve. I think to eclipse Golden State's record from, I would imagine, that very same year. So a 50-point blowout, 49-point blowout last night, as they will now advance of the highly coveted NBA Cup. Probably decimate the San Antonio Spurs and the survivor of Knicks Orlando. So what did the NBA do for itself there? I mean, they did create a situation where, and I believe, are these games going to be played on Saturday? So on a day where you don't have college football, the NBA swoops in there and steals a spotlight with their NBA Cup. Does that make for clever marketing while we were panning it yesterday, saying how meaningless it is? What do you think, Lubie? They get a little bit of a spotlight in something that's supposed to mean something. Is this like winning the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on a minor league professional wrestling circuit? Would you equate it with that?
Sure. I mean, it's something. They celebrate you. You get a $500,000 bonus. Each player gets that. So there's something to it. It's just, my dad asked me last week about it, and I laughed, and I was like, I don't know how to explain any of this. I don't care about it. I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't see the purpose of it. And I don't think it brings the eyeballs that they pretend that it does. Like, I don't know anyone that's paying any more attention to the NBA because of this thing that's actually more convoluted than just playing games.
Ian Eagle doing the game last night, the Laker game on Prime Network, which seemed to have, I don't know if this was by design or mistake, Lubie. What do you think? The coaches, you could hear everything they were saying the entire time. They had.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. I mean, and back and forth, and sometimes both at once.
I don't want, okay, I don't want the entire time. I'm just saying, I like the time. I like this new thing that they'll do. The college football where they like go, when they do the reviews, they like go to the thing and they hear the conversations. And it's like, okay, so they actually don't just throw darts at a wall because the reviews would always be the dumbest thing. You're like, that thing's clear. They go, no, overturn. It's like, the guy caught it. Like, it's like, caught it. So they're just closing their eyes and yes or no. Like, is that what, like, they actually go through it. They go through every angle. I remember when an announcer, it was either with shoes or something, going, you know what, even if they in your eyes get it wrong, it actually does make more sense when you hear them. And I laughed. I was like, it actually sort of does. So that I like. Yeah, constant chatter is weird. Like, I don't hear the constant chatter of
coaches. Oh, you heard every single thing. The guy, I mean, when they were yelling and screaming at their team, get back. A lot of stuff. I don't even know who is the San Antonio coach. He looked like a facsimile of Tyronn Lue, but who is the San Antonio coach? I've seen. It's amazing that they're not featured more on national TV, or else I just missed.
I think Popovich is still the coach, isn't Pop?
No, Pop. He's out.
Pop is gone this year. Mitch Johnson. I don't know who Mitch Johnson is.
Never heard of the guy, right?
I don't even know that guy is like a former player. I've never heard that name.
Didn't look like a former player. Although Tyronn Lue doesn't necessarily look like a former player either. And he had a reasonably decent NBA career for a guy that was coming off the bench. It wasn't horrible. That's for sure. I tell you what's weird. The replay that weirds me out the most, Lubie, where you're yelling and screaming, and not just the traveling. That's NBA stuff. Tyler Herro had a play the other night that they featured as if it was some brilliant play. He takes 11 steps, Lubie. You're screaming, "He traveled! It's traveling!" Even if it's your own guy, I mean, it's offensive. Now, there was a time, you'll find this very difficult to believe. It wasn't necessarily throughout and universal, but where I was growing up, believe it or not, in Brooklyn, there was a certain amount of integrity where you felt obligated to go ahead and make the right call, even if it wasn't favorable to you. Like if you knew that you were the guy that knocked the ball out of bounds, you would admit it. If you knew you didn't catch the ball, that the ball had hit the ground, you would admit it.
Yeah, you admit it. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, and that is the antithesis of what's going on today. And then this really bothers me, where the instant a football on a pass play hit the ground, it didn't matter if you had two hands on it and the point of the ball hit the ground, clear cut, hit the ground. Your hands were not underneath the ball.
Yeah, it's not a catch. Yep.
No catch. Catch. And you were obligated as a kid. I mean, imagine playing games with integrity, Lubie.
Yes, you admit it.
You would have to say, nah, ball hit the ground. I'm sorry, man. And your own team is like, yeah, what are you talking about? Ball hit the ground. Now, if it was golf, that's a whole different story. Their cheating is recommended. I mean, you can't get through a game without cheating. And I kind of like that. I don't know. Did you enjoy it? Wasn't it a better way to play? Now, there was always the one, rhymes with Rickhead, that would always make bad calls and always call stuff that didn't actually happen. He'd call traveling on you or a double dribble when you didn't do it. Call fouls almost automatically, even though you were 3 feet away from the guy. There was always one jerk. Not always, but for the most part, that this was the way it happened. But in the NFL, the ball clearly hits the ground on about a half a dozen replays every week.
Well, look, yeah. I mean, look.
The announcer's like, "Oh, well, no, it looked like he had clear possession." I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about? The ball's on the ground."
I remember when they changed it, because it used to be, it would be annoying where a guy would have a catch. He has the ball, and then any bit of the ball would barely touch the ground, and then they would make it incomplete. It's like, that's annoying. Like, that was clearly a catch. So I got the idea of, okay, we're taking away catches from guys. But the problem is they then opened up a can of worms where they started this keeping it to the ground crap.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you have to then Zapruder film the thing. to the out of bounds or to the touchdown out of bounds or to the, like, it's made things that either are clearly catches, not catches, which is annoying, or things that aren't catches in some weird way. Like,
all touches the ground. I mean, this drives me crazy.
it's
I
made it
saw it at
more
least,
convoluted.
yeah, 3-4 times over the weekend where a guy is making sort of a diving catch or he's going to the ground to catch the ball. It goes right between his hands. He's got two hands on the ball, but the ball hits the ground. And as soon as it touches the ground, for my estimation, that's it. Incompletion, my friend. But that one really drives me crazy. The NBA reviews are kind of comical. I'd agree with you with that. Where and no NBA player. I mean, they're always motioning to the coach to go ahead and challenge almost every foul call.
Yes, every play is like, dude.
Because it doesn't matter what you do to a guy. You could take a machete and chop off his left arm. And what? On me?
When it's over, it's not even, like they used to always chirp. Now it's like, oh my God. And they start walking around the court and they're throwing things like, then the replay is the guy hitting him in the mouth, blood's coming out. It's like, you punched him.
3 teeth are on the floor.
It's like, so you really didn't commit that foul?
No NBA player ever committed a foul. Ever. They're all playing just clean as a whistle. They're using that Brooklyn integrity theory
Yeah.
that I was talking about, which, I mean, that's 100 years ago. So, yeah, things have definitely changed in terms of the way people play and their competitive nature getting the better of them, which is for sure. All right, so yeah, I would recommend this Stuart Scott thing. It was actually inspiring, Lubie. Not just to people in the business, but to anybody that's out there. The guy would go get some devastating, I mean, just absolutely debilitating chemotherapy and pull the plug on that and go straight to the gym. And the way he put it was very interesting and kind of moving. And he said, listen, I'm probably not going to beat this thing, but I'm going to fight as hard as I can.
He had a young daughter at the time. I know she's now
two young daughters he had, yeah. And it was interesting, too, because as he got more and more popular, originally, probably the funniest thing that happened on this, I mean, there were some humorous elements to it also. It wasn't just a total tearjerker. But the funniest thing was when ESPN2 signed on and they made Keith Olbermann, they tried to have him dressing hip on ESPN2, had a Sports Center type of show. I don't know if it was called Sports Center. I think it was called something else. And Stuart Scott got his start with ESPN by doing something called the Sports Smash, which was essentially an update that was taking place during an update show. so they were giving you the scores and a review of everything, and at the same time, I don't know if it was just maybe it was a panel discussion show. I'm not sure, but he was doing these sports updates, doing a thing, and he did a great job. The guy was really good at that. But Olbermann, they tried to dress him like he was an MTV VJ.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was so out of, I mean, so incongruous with everything that not only he kind of represented on SportsCenter on the regular ESPN, but, I mean, you were wondering, I mean, what wardrobe malfunction could have possibly led to the decision to wear that? And he had kind of a weird mustache and everything. So, but you know, seeing as most sports fans today have had a very generous portion of ESPN programming infused in their television viewing over the years, what would you say? I mean, what percentage of your time is spent watching an ESPN related channel? Although you have broader taste now than I do, because you'll watch like regular shows.
Yes, I watch a lot of shows.
I'm at the point now at 74 where just putting on Prime Network is a pain in the ass because you have to use another remote. And then you got to check in. I have to turn the light on to see which button I'm pushing to make sure I don't throw it into some kind of recalibration of whatever it is that they do. And next thing you know, the TV's out for the next 2 hours. Yeah, I find that a little bit annoying. But the Prime coverage was good. And yet, that being said, I don't venture into a lot of Netflix, even though I have it, Lubie. And there are many programs that look like they would be interesting. So what percentage is it? 50% of the time that your TV is on some kind of ESPN or ESPN affiliate?
No, never. No, now. I don't watch any of that. I watch if there's a game. That's really it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about an all-inclusive. Because I see the talk shows, and I'm an immediate pass.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, you're saying I watch that much games? No, that's the problem. Is I don't watch that many games.
ESPN in general. I mean, what it blossomed into.
I watch ESPN compared to what all of my viewing, probably about 20% of the time now, because I do watch games like 4 to 5 days a week, I guess. Like a game here, a game there. But like I watch a lot of TV. Like I watch a lot of shows. So
Yeah.
just especially now with Look at Night, I have to kill like 4 hours. So there's always some kind of a show on. I used to watch it. I even until the last few years I was still watching those things. It's just, I don't know. Like, their programming got stale and it's just tough.
It did. They ran out of ideas, huh?
It just became a lot. Like
it's fair, yeah. I mean, when I saw Stephen A. Smith on The View the other day,
oh, get away.
Not that I'm a View regular, because
I don't mind The View because at least they
seem to be
they
on
go
the right
after the side I go after very openly, and I appreciate that. So if it's on, okay. Well, who are they
Let's
making
see
fun
what
of
the
today?
condemnation is today.
I don't have the Whoopi hate that a lot of people have. Like I grew up, Whoopi was someone people liked, so like I don't despise her like a lot of people do now. Like I grew up liking Whoopi Goldberg, so I don't mind.
Goldberg, I mean, the show kind of got monotonous.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a fun show for me to watch, but like it doesn't make me angry. Like people watch it and get angry. I'm like, okay, like whatever.
Yeah, but it's definitely a strange thing.
But yeah, Stephen A. being on he's a political guy now, and I don't know what he wants. He wants to love Trump and then hate Trump, and then he's like all over the place. He's trying to be like the male version of Candace, whatever her name is, that's now been kicked out. It feels like that's what he's trying to do, like be the angry black guy who was a Democrat but now isn't. I don't know.
Yeah, Jamel Hill or whatever.
Well, and Stephen A. is just what he's doing with.
Yeah, you have no idea where he's coming from on anything anymore, and he's just screaming. A tribute to the fact that Stuart Scott was able to sustain his career, and actually, what was interesting was he sort of got respected by the executives there at ESPN when he had to cover the Atlanta Olympic bombing, and he happened to be on the Sports Center when that took place, and it was one of those things, kind of like where. It happens. So we had to do it a few times. Hurricane Andrew was a time. You're doing a sports show, having a bunch of laughs. 9/11 happened while I was on the air, which naturally was a rough one. We came on the day after the Stoneman Douglas shootings. Not an easy day to work in the sports department. But he was able to pull that off very well, almost Segreto-esque in terms of transition from sort of being a goofball sports guy to having to report on some actual hard news. Very interesting documentary. I would say that as much as I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the guy in the origins of ESPN2 and the Booyah shtick and all of that, great respect for what this guy ended up doing with his life. Even, I mean, it accelerated. It just goes to show you, Louis, there was a lesson in there as when he found out his days were numbered, which we all are sitting there with that proposition facing us, he accelerated what he was doing even more and zeroed in on the things that really meant something to him, like his family. And he had gotten away from that. And a lot of interesting storylines on the Stuart Scott tribute that they put together. Bring a couple of tearjerker moments, I got to say, Lubie.
Oh no! I remember doing that speech when he had been supposedly sick, but he was still working, so I figured he was doing okay and getting better. Yeah. And then he did the thing, and he looked thin as hell, and he referenced like what was happening, and I was like, oh, he doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot, he may not be around much longer. And so like who again, like I said early on, was a big fan, and I sort of gotten tired of him. It like made me realize, shoot, this sucks. So like I remember watching that whole speech, and like it was really sad. It was poignant, and then he brought the daughters came out, I think, or the daughters at least were in the crowd. It was like
that was a great speech.
That one was rough.
Weird too. I mean, I forgot about the whole George Plimpton thing he did when he tried out for the New York Jets.
Oh, I don't know.
And then lost essentially the vision in one eye when
bought him in the face.
Pitching machines that fires a ball at you like 100 miles an hour, in this case a football, and it went through his hands and right into his eyeball.
Yep.
And he already had like impaired vision in his other eye, so the guy nearly went blind. But imagine having that happen. It's crazy. That's thinking like a personal injury attorney, right? Where you're thinking, how many waivers would you have to sign for the Jets not to be somehow responsible for allowing this guy to come out there on the field, even with him saying, "Hey, I hold nobody responsible," and then something like that happens. That could have happened to you at FAU, Louie. You know what?
Yes. Oh, no, I
Crazy.
could have really gotten hurt, honestly. We didn't take any precautions at all. And then the big dude didn't give a crap. And then when the corner laid me out,
He came at you, man. I mean, Michael Strahan never rushed a passer as
he
hard
laid
as
me
this
out.
guy came
Like,
at
he
you.
tackled me. And I was not prepared. Like, I did not think that. I actually went for it thinking we were just messing around. And right when I thought I had the catch, I'm like, oh my God, I think he's hitting me.
Did Charlie Partridge take no time to explain to this guy that this was
none. And the big dude,
radio schmink? Yeah.
when I was supposed to be going for like positioning with the center who was literally nominated for the best center of the year award out of FAU, like when he like literally went at me and shoved me to the ground, it was like, you can't think I'm really doing anything here, guy. Like,
What was it name? Jeff Monson. What was the MMA guy that you wrestled to a draw?
I was
in the
passing
studio?
out and he didn't care. He was like,
He didn't care
until I tapped out, and I don't watch that much. I didn't even know you started yelling because I didn't even think about tapping out. I was just like, don't die. And
why was the guy continuing? I mean,
he was waiting for me to tap out because that's, I guess, look, if you've ever heard, he's now literally a Russian asset or something. He's like a congressman in Russia, which they don't have congressmen there. So, like, he was not the brightest.
He looked like he was either Skull Murphy or Brute Bernard.
Yeah, he was like a wrestler. Like, he was a guy that would grunt. Like, he didn't. I'm not even be mean. Like, he wasn't a talker, and we were friendly with the guy.
No, he didn't have much to say.
So he was a guy that was clearly waiting for the tap out. We didn't make rules. Like, it was just supposed to be for fun.
Yeah.
And you started yelling, tap out.
Well, it was a theory we had that maybe we could derive some entertainment for the audience from Lubie versus the world.
Yes, I did a few things.
No, that was insane, man. We did everything but have you jump out of a plane without a parachute.
Not an
All right, we have to get out of here. All right, thanks so much for being with us, everybody. Our thanks to Dave for joining us for the trivia challenge, the people who played. Congratulations to our winner, Ron, today. We will have the professor tomorrow, our big board, early analysis on some of the college football games.
And he's killing it again in college basketball. College football, he said he was but he did work in college basketball last week.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to keep a good handicapper down forever.
No, sir.
That's the thing. And everybody's going to go through slumps. So you're going to have to work your way through hard times if you're a gambler, and you have to understand that. You can't necessarily panic and to kind of trust yourself in the long haul. See, now I know over the long haul, I am going to lose.
That's the thing. It's a long haul better.
And I realize that in the short term, I'm going to lose also. So why not just go out there and keep sending your money in? All right, we will see you guys next time. From Mike Lubie Lewis, young Luca Lubitz, I'm Jeff DeForest. We'll see you next time as we leave you know that.
The time.
It's 9:05.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my soul.